What's happening, and welcome back to another episode of the I AFYL Podcast. This is Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. Today, here's what we're going to break down. We're going to be breaking down the power of intention and then how it can transform your life. I learned this tip, whatever you want to call it. I learned it inside of the tax code. In the tax code, look, if you're taking notes, if you are a business owner, you want to make sure you write this down just as we're getting started. Inside of the tax code, there is section 162, which basically is where you can find all the deductions, like what deductions you can take in your trade or business, and pretty much anything that you have the intention to do business. When you have the intention to do business, you can pretty much just deduct everything. So we're going to talk about this in relation to how to transform your life today. Now, before we get started, I just want to share this quick message as it relates to why this podcast is here. Stick with me and we'll be right back.
Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
All right. Look, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast over on iTunes or Spotify, make sure you subscribe. Also, we're on YouTube as well. The podcast is there. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Look, YouTube and all these platforms, they want to know, well, who is this type of people who like this kind of information, transforming your life, staying on top of the things that matter the most. And if that's you and you like this kind of content, please subscribe over there on YouTube. Also share it if you're watching it on Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this, you can share it across the platform. Let someone else know, hey man, look, if you want to account for your life, if you want to understand the power of intention to transform your life, that's why you want to share this with your friends and your family. So let's get into this. Many years ago, I got into accounting. Like accounting is something that I got into, and sometimes I figure out, why did I get into accounting? I'm not really sure, but I am sure. See, intention is something that is in you, whether or not you know it. Here's how I can explain this. Intention is pretty much an aim. It's a plan. It's kind of like a direction. So here's the thing. When you got here, there was an intention for you, even though you didn't know it. Come on now, write that down. When you got here, there was an intention for you, even though you didn't know it, because someone else had an intention about your life. Ooh, yeah, absolutely. Someone had an intention about your life. So what does that mean? Someone had an intention. Well, there's a creator. The creator of the universe created you in his image, and there was an intention behind it. There was a plan behind it. When I went and looked up the word plan, I looked up the word plan. It led me back to intention, right? It's, the plan is, it's kind of like the details. It's the intention. It's the decision on what one is going to do. So when and then the intention is the aim. It's the direction in which you point yourself towards. So think about your life today. We're talking about transforming your life with intention. How can you transform your life with intention, right? See, transform your life with intention is pointing myself in the direction. Now, I am not 100% finished. I'm not quite yet finished everything about my life because I'm still living it. I'm still having to account for my life. And because I'm having to account for life every day, there's a change. Like I wake up this morning and, I'm driving to the gym. I got to start documenting some of this stuff because many people don't even know what I do. Like I wake up in the morning, I'm reading books, I'm listening to things that's shaping my mind. I'm going to the gym. I'm getting strong. I'm doing I do 500 push-ups every day, getting stronger, getting stronger everywhere in my life. And I'm going to the gym. I'm just like, man, what is my intention is not just to go to the gym. Now, that's a result. That's a part of the plan. So when you plan to become something, then there's something that you have to do inside the plan. That's what we're talking about today, intention. So intention is the direction. I directed myself. I'm going to tell you the direction I pointed myself back in 2014, I think 14 or 15. Here's what I said. Here's what my intention was. You know what? I would like to be in the best health that I can be at all times. At all times. So I pointed myself in a direction. I now started to make an intention. What is your intention for your health? You know, I was thinking about what's on the back of my t-shirt. Let's see. You can see it. Hopefully you saw it. Faith, fitness, and finances. I said, man, that's all I want to talk about. Faith, because faith is everything. Like, the best, I'm tripping. Like the best definition I heard of faith was by Myron Golden. He said it like this. Now faith is where I stand on the things I expect while I prove the things I cannot see. And back then I could not see the how I would be in 2025. That was in 2014, 2015. I couldn't see it. I hadn't proved it. And I'm still working toward this best health. Here's what happened. It was that far back. I realized that, man, if I don't do something in my health, I'm going to wind up just like the people in my family many years before me. Both of my granddads died early. Both of them in their 50s, gone. I'm 53. How did they die? Heart attack, stroke, whatever. Like, I'm looking at my aunts and uncles. A lot of them died early. The first uncle that died, he was 40 years old from a heart attack. Uncle Roy. Then there's, all the sisters. Aunt Edna, she died at 55, I believe. Then there's, Aunt Don and Aunt Vi. They died, they died a little bit older, but they died early and they was not in great health. Then there's, now my dad, he's 83. He's still living. And his brother, James, who lived till he was about 84. And then there was Uncle Love. I think he lived till he was 80. And then there was one, Uncle Joe. I think Uncle Joe died. Uncle Joe died maybe in his 60s. But here's the thing. Besides my dad and Uncle James, everybody else died. They kind of died early. And here's the thing. I says, I don't want to do that. I would like to be 80 and feel 40 and feel feel 30, feel 40. Now, you don't know if that's possible, but that's why this definition is so powerful. Now faith is where I stand on the things I expect while I prove the things I cannot see. So what's interesting about that statement is that this is the driving force of your intention. Remember, you can't see in the flesh the results until you actually get them. But here's the thing. You can see them even though you can't see them. And that's where the expectation comes in. See, your intention is building a plan of doing something. This is challenging. Here's how this is challenging because let's skip over. Well, we can't even skip over fitness. Here's why we can't skip over fitness. Because many people make fitness goals every single year. It's still January, and I bet you many people have already quit. I bet you a lot of folks haven't stuck with the regimen that they said they was going to do, because when they got started, something happened. Disruption happened, meaning pain happened. You go to the gym and you spent 2 hours, then next thing you spend another, and then I'm so sore. I still get sore. I was sore. Yes, I was like, man, I'm sore. but I wouldn't stop going to the gym. But by the end of the day, I wasn't so sore. Wake up this morning, I'm refreshed. Go back and go hit it again. And the thing about your intention is it is powerful, because you can intend to do something and then you can intend not to do something. Now, let's talk about not doing it. When you have an intention to do something, but then you don't do it. And let's think about and fast forward to the end of a year. So you had a big goal to get in the best shape of your life, and it was January, then it was December. And then you look up in December and it's like, oh man, you had a huge, man, I wanted to do it, but it didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? I can tell you why. And it wasn't because you didn't go to the gym. Because I do the same thing. It's what we eat. Our weight, first, like how much you weigh is about what we eat. And I'm just like most people, like, there's parts of the day, if certain foods is in the house, if the wrong foods is in my house, it's going to get eaten. Because there's times in the day when I don't have any willpower. See, willpower is at some point you cave in. So it's kind of like my son, Jacob, he's going to be a renowned chef. And he made ice cream over the holidays. Made a bunch of ice cream. Most of it was gone. I was in the freezer just kind of perusing. I found the strawberry ice cream that he made. I said, oh man, and I don't think my wife saw it in there. I've been nibbling on it. And when I'm like ready to just forget willpower, I go scoop out a couple scoops of ice cream because it's good. I don't care. Like when I'm eating ice cream, I'm like, this is good. Even though my intention is for what I want, look, man, at some point, willpower is not enough. And here's the thing, you got to know how to manage all of that. So if we're talking about fitness, then that just means that if I'm in my home, I got to make sure that there's certain things not in there. Because once it's in there, I'm going to eat it. So your intention on being fit, right? It does start with faith. Now faith is where I stand. I'm going to stand on top of what I want, where I stand on the things that I expect while I prove the things I cannot see. So it starts there. And then it moves into the phase of, okay, what do I need to do? Right. So fitness is pretty much just the doingness of all the steps, which is, hey, let me make sure I eat a certain way. Let me make sure I'm drinking a certain amount of water. Let me make sure I'm doing some exercise, at some point during the day, moving my body. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to spend an hour at the gym every day. An hour is usually about the longest that I can take it in the gym. I can do longer if I wanted to, but because I don't want to put myself in a situation where I don't want to keep going, because I start thinking it's taking up too much time. An hour is typically the longest amount that I spend. I want to spend more time, but I say, I don't want to do it because I don't want it to feel hard. So, but for most people just getting started, I would say 15, 20 minutes, just something at home, some calisthenics, which is some jumping jacks, some squats, some sit-ups, multiple variations. You can do some push-ups, just do things around the house. Don't even go to the gym. But then there's this thing called finances, right? Let's talk about this intention when it comes to finances. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of the biggest challenges, because right now we're going through a reset. I'm not sure if you know this, right? We have a new president and he's doing all kinds of crazy things. Like a lot of people are upset with things that he's doing. I understand what he's doing. Here's what I understand about it. He's looking at government. He's saying the government is spending too much money. We got to roll some of this back. We got to stop all the wasteful spending. Now, there's people that are upset. Oh my goodness, you got rid of this. You got rid of this. You got rid of this. Yeah, because we're overspending. The government's overspending. So he's going in like a business person and he's cutting and he's cutting and he's cutting. But here's the thing. A lot of people of my color, they're looking at this stuff and it's like, they're going to get rid of DEI, when we weren't even the biggest beneficiaries of DEI, like African Americans. From what I heard, it's 4%. 4% of you benefited 4% of whatever was going on. And we're the one talking the most about it. We're like, doesn't even matter. Here's why it doesn't matter. because the government ain't coming to save you, and it's time to get to work. Right now, it's a reset. AI is about to go, it's about to suck out a lot of stuff, a lot of jobs. And if you're not ready, it's going to take it. Now, President Trump, what he's doing, he's coming in and looking to make the government more efficient. So they're going to get rid of a lot of jobs. So now let's talk about finances, because traditional finances is going to require us to do we can't go traditional anymore, because our intention around what it is we're doing when it comes to our finances has to change. What is the intention, right? A lot of people say, Jay, man, I'd love to be able to make $10,000 a month. Wow. Okay. $10,000. That's actually not so hard today. Now, because $10,000 a month today ain't the same as $10,000 a month when I was just getting started in 2002. So that's not the same amount. So, but then they're like, well, I want to make $10,000 a month. Well, what's your intention? What are you doing? So if I was doing an audit, if I was doing an audit of someone's business or their life, I would just ask questions. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. And, oh, I realize why you're not making any money. You haven't done anything. The reason why I haven't gotten to 7 figures yet, because I haven't actually pulled the right lever. Make multi 6 figures every year, but I haven't pulled the right lever. And I'm thinking like, man, but I realize it. It's 2025. You just can't be traditional anymore. You gotta be different. You can but you can't do it traditional anymore. So my intention has to change around all the things that I do in my work, in my business to make money. See, if we think about the tax code right now, based on what President Trump is saying, they may want to get rid of taxes. What if they get rid of taxes? What's going to happen to people like us who are tax strategists and accountants and tax preparation? Does that go away? That was something I thought about some years ago. I said, man, I need to be doing something that's only attached to my gifts. Because if I'm doing something that's attached to something that I can't control, that I could potentially lose that at some point. Yes, it's kind of interesting. It's not scary. It's just interesting, because now, when we go back to what's written in Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you. Intention. I know the intention I have for you. Plans to prosper you. Plans to give you a future, give you a hope, right? So right there in the word, my intention was already set. The reason why intention is powerful is because we didn't have to have an intention when we got here. See, when you got here and when I got here, intention was already set. I think some years ago, I think I did a podcast on the intention. It's kind of like the intention that was before you. So if we go all the way back, if you just go all the way back in your life, can you remember a time? Can you remember a time before a time? No, I can't remember it. But if you think long enough, what you'll find, I'll find intuition. Intuition and intention are close to each other. What? Let's look at intuition. The ability to understand something immediately without the need of conscious reasoning. So a lot of times we're trying to think from a conscious level. We have to think from an unconscious level. We have to go within ourselves to discover, through our intuition, we have to use intuition to discover the original intention. Because that power, the power behind that intention is greater than anything we've ever experienced. So what is the power of intention, and how can that transform your life? Okay, here's how that power can transform your life. Take everything that you've done up to this point, and then ask yourself, is this why I was created? You may say, I don't know. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I asked a question like, hey, if I can help you build a plan, that could help you to do at least $200,000 a year. If I could help you build a plan. And the person's like, I don't know. I say, wow, something's off here. They're losing their intention is off. And I said, okay, so what's your intention? Just trying to find out what's going on with their business. And come to find out, the person really wants to live. They're tired of living in the external. They want to live from within. That's what I gathered. They want to live from within. And they find that when they live from within, they get more out of it than merely just going to work and doing a job, but helping people to solve problems, be more of an encouragement, just be more of an empower. That's what I took from it. This person was really using their intuition to go back into the power of the intuition, the intention that's already in them. And it may be slow, but I can tell it's starting to transform their life to where they want to go. See, unfortunately, sometimes we point ourselves in a direction that it's not where we ultimately want to go. We just, I decide to be an accountant. I decide to be a doctor. I decide to be someone that does hair. I decide to be this, that, and the third. Like we decide to do something, but that's not who we are. And then at some point, there's an incongruence that we need to reconcile. So when we take time to just go inside to develop, to really get close to the intuition, what should I be doing? What? If there was no obstacles, what would I do? If there was anything that I could do every single day, what would that be? Now, this is where you're making an intention. Now, here's the thing. You can add something onto this. If there was anything that I could do that I wanted to do, what would it be? And then how then could I position it to earn the living that I want? Come to the answer. And this is where intention comes. You block everything else out. And the plan is to aim towards where that's going to take you. There's going to be some development. There's going to be some time. But it's going to be more worth it than anything else, because remember, the transformation that will happen in your life will be life-changing. The intention I have for my life is to help people to account for it in a way that they can strengthen their faith, develop their fitness, have as much finance as they would like. That's my intention. And that's why I'm here at this podcast. And I hope you got value from today's program. If you did, please subscribe, like, and look. If there's something you would like us to talk about, if there's a topic, an area of your life that you kind of need some direction on, be sure to drop a comment, and then we'll be sure to respond to the comment and potentially do a podcast on it so that we can go deep on whatever it is that you actually asked the question about. So guys, I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Account for Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for life. God bless. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.